What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Hope you had a great week. Today I'm going to be working on my Yamaha YZ250 two-stroke dirt bike. My front and rear fenders have not come in yet, so we're going to save the aesthetics for another day. Today I actually want to take care of my blown out FMF exhaust silencer. It's a Turbinecore 2 muffler. It just seems like there's a bunch of loose items, packing or baffling, rattling around inside. So we're gonna be removing it from the bike, taking it apart and see what's wrong with it. To remove the exhaust silencer, you have to remove the side panel first, which is just two 10mm bolts. I already removed the top one because I just replaced the seat cover. So once you get the side cover off, there's gonna be two 8mm bolts, which is for the exhaust hangers holding the silencer to the subframe. Once you remove those two 8mm bolts, you should be able to slide the silencer off the expansion pipe or the header through this slip fit connection. So let's get started. This silencer is definitely pretty beat. There's two dents on the right side of the core, which tells me the bike was dropped pretty hard on its right. The top exhaust hanger is bent. You can see that, which explains why the exhaust was crooked like this. So we're gonna straighten out the exhaust hangers while we have this off the bike. The baffling on the inside is just jiggling around in there. So it tells me I have to take it apart from both sides. I was hoping that I can just take it apart from the inlet side, pull that out, replace the packing on the inside, but it looks like we also have to take apart this side to see what's going on in there. It seems like the piping on the outlet has come loose from the cap. So let's go take this thing apart and find out what's inside. The baffling on the inlet side of the exhaust is in actually pretty decent shape. That's not what's jiggling around in there. This should just be able to clean up with some brake clean, get all this premix off, and slip back in there with the new packing. This is really dense and soaked in some premix, so I'm sure the new packing is gonna do a lot better. That being said, the inlet side is good, but the outlet side is what's having an issue here. It's not recommended to take this side apart because you can potentially cause damage if you're just simply repacking your silencer, but in this case, there's something already not right in there. The FMF Turbinecore 2 exhaust is US Forest System approved because it's got a built-in spark arrestor, but I think that's actually what's wrong with it. So I'm gonna be taking this side apart. Just got to drill out the rivets. So it's not actually as bad as I thought it would be. This end cap for the exhaust is just held in place by two rivets, one on top and one in the bottom. And the exhaust tip that's inside it is only held on by the top rivet. It looks like that broke at some point because there was a little piece jiggling in there and it just fell in there and it's been rattling in place while the end cap stayed on with the bottom rivet. As far as the internals, it actually looks to be in decent shape. There's nothing loose as far as the core of the spark arrestor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reinstall the tip, reinstall the end cap, Apply some RTV along the edges first to prevent any sort of exhaust leaks, and install new rivets top and bottom. These end caps they use the 3/16 inch shallow or medium rivets, so I got to go buy some, but I want to straighten out this hanger first, and then we'll get to repacking the inlet. This is how the end cap and tip is supposed to be. The tip is supposed to be a nice snug fit onto the cap. Shouldn't jiggle around. And then the top tab should line up with the hole. So when you install the rivet, it holds both in place. And the exhaust hangers are now bent back to shape so that when I bolt it back onto the subframe later on, the exhaust shouldn't be crooked anymore, and there should be a little gap between the casing and the side panel. This is the part number for the packing that I'm using. It's just universal 2-stroke packing by FMF. I'm gonna trim the width so it's similar to the packing that came out, which should be the same width as the baffling all the way down to the end cap. Using these 3/16 short rivets. Same exact.
Paint mine out of
There it is. The end cap is nice and secure, properly riveted from top and bottom, so the tip should not be going anywhere. No more shaking around. Now I just have to apply a thin coat of high temp silicone along the edges of the end caps to prevent any chances of exhaust leaks. Here's what the exhaust looks like reinstalled on the bike. I think it looks a lot better, nice and clean, not all caked up in some 2-stroke premix. The outlet side is nice and secure. The tip's no longer jiggling around in there. The silencer sits a lot less crooked than it did before. It's still a little offset, but it looks so much better now. The end caps are nice and sealed, so I'm sure it's gonna be nice and quiet with the new packing inside. I'm not gonna turn the bike on right now to test it out because turning on a 2-stroke at midnight at an apartment complex is simply not something you're supposed to do. Also got a fresh high temp silicone coupler on the slip fit connection. So this exhaust is nice and rebuilt. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm not gonna reinstall the side panel yet since I'm about to take the bike apart again, because I just got a bunch of new parts in. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful in any way, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with the YZ project or my KLX or any of my other bikes, consider subscribing to this channel. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.